This right here, this story time is my Valentine's Day special. And I want to dedicate it to all the lonely men and women who don't have anybody on Valentine's Day. If you want some advice from me, stop being scared. Drop your nuts, not literally because you'll go to jail, but go talk to her. And if you too scared to go talk to her, go to a lot and find a lizard. Look for the reptiles. The going rate on pussy is $120. Don't ask me how I know that, but get your money up. You don't have to be lonely. But this story is about how I fell in love. And when I fall in love, I'm usually drunk or loaded. And it was with what we call Broana. I'm gonna call her Broana. But this happened when my cousins was throwing a party. My female cousins, Day Day and Shayana. They were throwing a party. They invited a few of my cousins and a few of their friends. Darkest was there. And this nigga had the same skin tone as Midnight. I know y'all probably heard it a lot already. I just had to mention it again. This nigga's skin tone really said, "Hello, darkness, my old friend." But, you know, a few of my other cousins were there, and she invited some of her friends. And everybody there seemed to have a situation going on, a partner. Even Darkest was with a white girl, and it didn't make no sense. It looked like yin and yang. That's what they looked like together. It was a little white bitch named Shelby. But we was there chilling, and we started drinking and playing Uno. And as we were playing Uno, I noticed this girl with the BOOSIE fade and big ass titties. She was arguing with her girlfriend. Apparently, her girlfriend had just sucked her baby daddy dick the night before, and she was like, "Man, bitch, I'll really slap you. You don't even suck my strap on like that." And so they was just going off at each other. And then I started tuning out because the blunt was in rotation. So I started hitting the Mary Jane, and Mary Jane, that's my first love right there. But I started hitting the weed, and then they started playing the music. And y'all know how girls be twerking, shaking ass. I be shaking balls. I ain't even gonna lie, nigga. I can make my dick clap against my balls. That's making it clap for me. I be in that bitch like that. I be turning up. And as I was doing that, I see from the corner of my eye, Broana, she looking at me. I didn't really pay her no attention because, you know, nigga, she's sagging with a Gucci belt, wearing Jordans, and she damn near has facial hair. But as I get drunker, she looks more and more like thick ass Daphne. If y'all know who that is, then you nasty as hell, just like I am. But I noticed, Broana, she keep getting close to me. I look away for a little bit, she's 5 inches closer. I look away for a little bit, she's 5 inches closer. And then I look back and she's right on my 5 incher. Like, she's right there in front of me. So I start hitting the Hikari, I'm turning up, and then I accidentally let that meat slip on her booty cheek. And I said, "Oh, my bad." She looked at me and said, "Oh, that's okay, bro." She real sad at this point because her girl had just left the party. So once I saw that she wasn't really tripping like that, man, I slid that meat on her again. She was sagging, but that ass was popping out in the Ethica shorts. Man, the crease on that booty cheek, man, oh yeah. She was dressed like a dude, but she had that ass for real. So I let that meat slip on her again. And this time I didn't say nothing. I didn't say I'm sorry or nothing. She let it hang right there. So once we stopped dancing, I go over to my cousins. I'm like, "Y'all mind if I use that spare room?" And they said, "Sure." So I invited Broana to come up there with me and smoke a blunt. And a few minutes later, we was fucking.
Fucking on a date, I'm in love. I'm fucking with a date.
And she kind of used a fake ass D voice at first. Like when she was moaning, she was like, "Oh." But as the octaves in her voice went up every inch I went in. So it was like, "Oh," and it was like, "Oh." They were like, "Ah." Like, so it would just get higher and higher. And this pussy was some of the best, wettest, tightest that I've ever had. I don't know, it's because them studs be having that pussy on hostage, but man, and that ass was jiggling, bro. Like, she may look like light-skinned little BOOSIE with clothes on, but when she take them off, man, she's an angel. I ain't even gonna lie. Thick as hell, titties sagging. Man, I pulled my dick out and I let it right on that BOOSIE fade. I let it off.
Come on, man.
I let it off. We fell asleep, but when I woke up, she was gone. Gone. So I went downstairs and she was getting her stuff, getting ready to leave. I went to give her a hug, and then she turned me down for the hug and went for the dap. And she said, "I'll see you, bruh." How did I go from daddy to bruh? You were screaming, calling me daddy. Now you saying, "All right, bro, I'll catch you." What? Man, as I was helping my cousins, Day clean the house, I was like, "So, what's up with that?" And then there's like, she like girls, but I was like, she was just on my dick. She was literally on my penis, and then they're talking about some, well, they slip up sometimes. You just don't slip up like that. I couldn't stop thinking about it because, like I said, that was some of the best coochie that I've had. And she was sucking my dick she was sucking my dick the way a hood nigga smokes Black and Miles. That was probably a bad analogous or whatever the fuck. But she was sucking my dick so good, and I couldn't think about that night of passion. I couldn't stop thinking about that night of passion that we had. So I followed her on Facebook and I texted her, "Hey." No response. So I started falling out of love again, man. And it was weeks. Weeks went by and I just so happened to spot her at a store. I went up to her and said, "How you doing?" And she like, "Oh, bro, I'm good. And she went to dab me up and leave, but I said, "Wait a minute. You don't have to do it anymore." She's like, "I don't have to do what?" "You don't have to be a man anymore. You don't have to bear the responsibility. You don't have to pay the bills. You don't have to put up with the bullshit. You don't have to be the bigger person in every situation. You don't have to hold the door anymore. Baby girl, you ain't gotta wear the pants no more. You can take a risk and put on a dress. Just, you don't have to do it anymore." And then she like, "Man, I ain't with that gay shit." I'm like, what are you talking about? You're a girl, but she like, "Yeah, listen, nigga, I ain't with that gay shit, straight up." So at this point, I got a little offended. Like, you trying to call me gay for getting up in your pussy, slapping your big ass cheek, and licking on your titties. That's, you trying to call me gay for that? And she like, "Man, it is what it is." And then walk back to her car. I was so done. I was heartbroken. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. I just went home and beat my shit. I couldn't take it. And what really sent me over the edge, she had texted me a picture on Facebook. It was her and a little purple. She sent me a motherfucking plastic dick pic talking about, "You want some of that bitch ass nigga?" I said, "What?" Man, nigga, I blocked that bitch, and then that's not all. I went to her girlfriend Facebook, and I texted her girlfriend and said, "Your boyfriend got some good ass pussy, and she suck a mean dick." I was hurt, y'all. I wasn't in the right, but I was hurt. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Love you. Peace.